this time of limited visa appointments and extensive backlogs, being prepared for your interview is more important than ever. The goal of this video is to ensure that you don't face unnecessary additional processing time due to missing or incomplete documents at the time of your interview. First, we will go over the steps that an application for an immigrant visa takes before coming to the U.S. Embassy for final interview. Then, we will go over what to prepare before the interview, what to bring to the interview, and potential slowdowns in the process.
When an American citizen or legal permanent resident files for you to immigrate and join them in the U.S., it begins with the filing of an application with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, or USCIS.
Once your application is approved, USCIS then transfers your case to the Department of State's National Visa Center, or NVC. NVC creates a case in our system and sends you a welcome letter by email or physical mail. With the information in this letter, you can then log into our Consular Electronic Application Center, or CEAC, to check your status, receive messages, and manage your case. NVC collects the necessary documents to pre-screen your case. The NVC website keeps updates for where you are in the process, and they can answer your questions. Once your case for an immigrant visa is documentarily qualified, or DQ, you will receive an email from NVC that your case will be sent to the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica and you're ready to schedule an appointment. At this point, it's important to note that the time frame for scheduling an appointment once you are DQ'd is quite long due to prolonged limited staffing and infection spread prevention measures being taken at this time. Make sure you review the notification email from NVC. Familiarize yourself with what your next steps are and where to start. While your case file already contains extensive documentation, the Embassy will require you to bring several additional items to your interview appointment. Without these final submissions, your case will be delayed until we receive them. If you ensure that you have everything you need prior to the interview, you will enjoy a much quicker and smoother process. While you await your appointment to be scheduled, locate your important civil documents. This includes your birth certificate and each of your civil documents that are relevant to your case, such as birth, death, and marriage certificates, as well as all divorce decrees. If, for example, the person who filed for you, your petitioner, is your child, you need to bring both you and your child's birth certificates. If your case is being processed electronically, scan and upload a copy of your civil documents and set aside the originals to bring to the interview if those documents were issued anywhere other than the U.S. If you or your petitioner changed your names, you must bring an original deed poll. If your name changed through marriage or divorce, bring your marriage certificates or divorce decrees with you. Are your identity documents up to date? Prior to your appointment, check your passport and see when it expires. If your passport is expiring soon, consider renewing it. You must submit a valid, unexpired passport that will be valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended date of entry to the United States. You'll also need to submit 2 colored passport-size photographs for each person applying for a visa, taken within the last 6 months. Please review our online specifications for the photos to ensure that they meet those requirements, or your case will be suspended until you provide compliant photos. Police certificates are required for all applicants 16 years of age and over. Generally, applicants who've lived in any other country after the age of 16 for more than 1 year must obtain police certificates from those jurisdictions. However, if an applicant is currently residing in that country or is in the country of their nationality, then they need to submit a police certificate if they have resided there for only 6 months or more. Applicants who've been convicted of a crime in any country must submit a police certificate from that country, as well as a certified copy of each court record or any prison record, regardless of whether he or she may have subsequently benefited from an amnesty, pardon, or other act of clemency. To find out if a country you previously resided in issues police certificates and how to obtain one, check on the Department of State's website travel.state.gov in the Reciprocity by Country pages. All immigrant visa applicants, regardless of age, require a medical examination by an approved panel physician prior to the issuance of a visa. In Jamaica, there is only one facility accredited by the U.S. Embassy to perform this exam. Medical examination results from other physicians will not be accepted. It is your responsibility to schedule a medical exam as soon as you've been scheduled for your visa appointment. We strongly urge you to call the hospital to make your appointment immediately after you register your appointment for your visa interview online, in order for the results of the exam to be transferred to the embassy in time for your interview. If you are unable to complete your exam prior to your visa interview, please still come to your interview, but know that this will slow down the issuance of your visa. Some visa classes are only available to individuals who are not married. For those visa classes, you may be required to bring a Certificate of No Impediment to Marriage issued by the Registrar General's Department, RGD. A document is issued by any other agency other than RGD will not be accepted. Applicants for a fiancé or K visa must present this Certificate of No Impediment to Marriage in original at the time of interview. Affidavits of support, the I-864, are required for many visa classes. Please make sure that your financial documents are complete in the case, either uploaded prior to your appointment or brought with you to your appointment. This includes relevant tax returns and W-2s, which are wage statements, and/or your petitioner's tax return transcripts. If your petitioner does not meet the income requirements to financially support you, your case may require a joint sponsor. Petitioners and joint sponsors also need to provide copies of documents showing that they legally reside in the U.S., such as a copy of a naturalization certificate, U.S. birth certificate, or permanent resident card. Generally speaking, a U.S. driver's license is insufficient to confirm immigration or citizenship status. Remember, you must bring the originals of documents issued outside of the U.S. to your immigrant visa interview. You'll also need to bring your passport, originals of any police certificates required for your case, as well as any documents that are not scanned into your case. It is a good idea to also bring any photographic evidence that would help you demonstrate to the consular officer the authenticity of your relationship with the petitioner, such as wedding photos. Photographs of life events like these can be helpful. You cannot bring your phone into the embassy, so please print out any photos beforehand and bring them to your appointment.
It is important for all visa applicants to remember that there are extremely limited visa appointments and a large backlog of cases waiting for interview. If you come to your interview without proper documentation, it may mean the difference between your visa taking a week to process versus several months.